It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBSports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
Hello and welcome to the Girls Lacrosse Mercer County Tournament quarterfinals on the WBCB Sports Network. Today's game is brought to you by Notre Dame High School and Fish Clothing Company. And a pleasant good afternoon to all of you. Alongside Freddie Valentino, I'm Jordan Hirsch. Freddie, great to be back with you here for some more girls high school lacrosse action. As today, the number 3 seed Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who enter with a record at 9-3, will face the 6th seed, the 10-5 Princeton Tigers. Notre Dame coming off of a 16-15 win over Princeton Day on Wednesday. Margaret Ritson, 2 huge stops in the final 2 minutes of that game. She's going to have to be on her A game here this afternoon, facing off with a high-powered Princeton Tigers offense. They come into this game having scored 19 or more goals 5 times, 20 or more goals 3 times. They've scored the most goals in the CVC, 211 on the season. What are you looking for out of the goaltending play of Margaret Ritson today, as well as the defense, to try to slow down this high-powered Tigers offense?
Well, I mean, we saw Margaret. She had an outstanding game against PDS last week when we were here together. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that she's that kind of player, and she brings it under pressure. I mean, she definitely showed us that. Our defense, I mean, I think they're ready. They're ready to go. I mean, that was a competitive game. It was back and forth. Anybody could have won. It was a one-point game. I think our defense has been challenged, and I think they're ready to achieve what they need to today.
And on the offensive side for Notre Dame, the tournament play is when you count on your star players the most. And when you talk about Notre Dame, you got to look at the play of Amelia Eilbacher and Reese Parker. Eilbacher, 4 goals in that game on Wednesday. Reese Parker has just been on fire, 19 goals in her last 3 games. Notre Dame's really going to need them to step up and continue their level of play here this afternoon if they're going to want to get this win and move on to the semifinals.
Yeah, no doubt, Jordan. They're definitely going to have to do that. I mean, Amelia's been on point with the draw controls. I think she's going to be great today. I see her out there warming up with teammate Emily Javik, getting prepared for this. Reese Parker has been on fire. I don't think she's ready to let off the gas anytime soon. I think there's no doubt that they've got a great connection and they're going to bring it today.
And looking at the Princeton side now, they're coming off of a 19-12 win over Petty on Friday. It was their 2nd straight win. In fact, their last loss actually came April 29th at home against Notre Dame. That was a 12-4 win for the Irish. And this Princeton Tigers team, they're spearheaded by their midfield play. Leah Bornstein, Quinn Gallagher, and Riley Devlin is really the straw that stirs the drink for this Princeton squad. Taking a look at Bornstein, 42 goals, 17 points. She scored 9 in her last 2 games after being held scoreless against Notre Dame back on April 29th. Quinn Gallagher, 37 goals this season. That matches her total from last year, but she's been held quiet recently, just 4 goals in her last 3 games. And then Riley Devlin, 53 goals on the season, 68 total points. She is 9 goals away from 200 on her career. She's also scored 10 in her last 2 games. Notre Dame will have to key in on the midfielders for this Princeton Tigers squad if they're going to want to advance to the semifinals, where they would either face Allentown or Robbinsville. Stick checks about ready to get underway here at Notre Dame, so we will step aside and be back with the opening draw right after this. You're listening to Girls High School Lacrosse on the WBCB Sports Network.
It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network.
In a world where every choice we make can impact someone's life, one brand is leading the way towards a brighter future. Introducing Fish. We are on a mission to raise awareness of the mental health issues many face every day, especially children, student athletes, and veterans. Join us at Fish and be a part of something bigger than yourself. Together, we can make waves of difference in the world.
In a world where every voice matters, there's a brand that stands out. Fish, not just a clothing company, but a movement for change. We're dedicated to raising awareness about mental health issues, especially among children, student athletes, and veterans. Our brand was born from the belief that clothing can be a powerful tool for expression and support. Join us at Fish Clothing Company and be part of a community that's making a difference.
We all face challenges, and sometimes life can get a bit overwhelming. But guess what? You're not alone. There's a beacon of hope shining through, and it's called the Hey app. If you've ever felt the weight of isolation, stress, or emotional struggles, this one's for you. We're about to unveil a platform that's more than just an app. It's a lifeline for those in need. What sets Hey apart? Well, it connects people in need with compassionate and supportive listeners. You can share your thoughts, your fears, your hopes, and do it all anonymously. Because sometimes all we need is someone to listen without judgment. And here's a beautiful opportunity for you. We're asking you to join this community of compassion. Download the Hey app and become a listener. Your kindness can be a guiding light for someone in their darkest moments. Imagine being the reason someone smiles today, the reason someone feels heard and understood. It's powerful, and it starts with you. Join us on this journey, because every conversation can be a lifeline. Let's make the world a little brighter, one connection at a time.
In a world where every choice we make can impact someone's life, one brand is leading the way towards a brighter future. Introducing Fish. We are on a mission to raise awareness of the mental health issues many face every day, especially children, student athletes, and veterans. Join us at Fish and be a part of something bigger than yourself. Together, we can make waves of difference in the world.
$14.90 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
In a world where every voice matters, there's a brand that stands out. Fish, not just a clothing company, but a movement for change. We're dedicated to raising awareness about mental health issues, especially among children, student athletes, and veterans. Our brand was born from the belief that clothing can be a powerful tool for expression and support. Join us at Fish Clothing Company and be part of a community that's making a difference.
$14.90 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Welcome back to Notre Dame High School. We are just moments away from the quarterfinal matchup between the third-seeded Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the sixth-seeded Princeton Tigers from getting underway. And Freddie, Notre Dame gets one of their better players back today. Your daughter, Capri Valentino, she's missed her last 4 games, but before that, she'd been playing really well, eclipsed her 100 career point plateau, 19 goals, 12 assists, and you got to believe that Notre Dame real excited to have her back.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure her team is. I mean, the support that they've given her over the last 4 games, her being not being able to take the field, definitely a little bit hard for a young person, but I'm really excited about today myself. I spoke to Capri before the game. She's feeling really good. Denise's feeling great. Her athletic trainer's been awesome to work with her, and, yeah, she's highly motivated to get in today's game.
Well, this Notre Dame team, they've had the better of this matchup against Princeton over the last several years. They've won 5 of their last 6 games against Princeton, dating back to 2021. Notre Dame has advanced to the semifinals of the Mercer County tournament. In each of the last 8 tournaments, they beat Hun 8-7 in the Mercer County tournament quarterfinals last year. Ended up falling to Lawrenceville 10-3 in the semis. And they will be looking to get back there here against Princeton this afternoon. It'll be Eilbacher with Quinn Gallagher in the circle for the opening draw. Up in the air, loose, and it's going to be scooped up eventually by Princeton and Leah Bornstein, and then she gets fouled. It will stay with the Tigers. Bornstein, 42 goals, 17 assists this season. Sends it ahead to Henderson and now Zahid. Anaya Zahid sends that one up top to Devlin, and Zahid gets it back. They go behind the net. Zahid to Devlin. She's the leading goal scorer on this team. She's got 53. Quinn Gallagher lobs it and gets it right back. Coming out to pester her, Ellie Marone. That's 16 on 16. Bornstein at the top of the fan. Tries to work her way in and is forced to wheel back out. Zahid to Sarah Henderson. Sends it in front. Bornstein gets open. And Ritson able to make the save. She picks up right where she left off on Wednesday. Notre Dame now a chance for their first possession. Eilbacher couldn't handle that pass. 1-on-3. Fighting for the ground ball. And it comes free to Reese Parker. 19 goals in her last 3 games. Parker racing up with it. Gets around her defender. Parker cuts to the 8-meter. Bumped and fouled as she loses it. And now Parker goes down to knees. And fortunately is able to get right back up. Penalty shot for Parker. A chance to get Notre Dame on the board first. Allegra Brennan in the crease trying to stop it. Whistle blows. Parker bounces it and scores, and it's 1-0 Irish. Reese Parker, her 20th goal now in her last 4 games, and not even 2 minutes in, Notre Dame has the 1-0 advantage. Reese Parker's 48th goal of the season, and it takes Notre Dame no time at all to get on the board. They get possession. Parker uses that speed and is able to work her way into the middle of the 8-meter, got bumped, fouled, and converts on the penalty shot to open the scoring. Gallagher and Eilbacher will do battle again in the circle. Eilbacher wins this one back, and she'll race back to pick this one up. First draw control win for the Irish. Amelia Eilbacher, 4 goals against Princeton Day on Wednesday. Showed some real fancy footwork back behind the net for all of them. We'll see if she puts those moves on display at all here this afternoon. Jaffick outside the fan to Marone. She'll cut in and go right back out, forced out by Devlin. Demsko up top. Michaela Driscoll pushed back out by Leah Bornstein. She'll flip it underhand to Eilbacher. And she'll take it around behind the cage. First time she's in this position here this afternoon. 9:15 to play in the first. Eilbacher trying to make the move behind the net. Sticking with her behind there is Devlin. Trying to get out in front, can't. Goes back to the far side, loses it. And a whistle, it will stay with Notre Dame. So Eilbacher will get it on the fan. Deals it off to Javik. She'll cut in. Javik tries to send it to Marone. It's over her head. And it'll be scooped up by Brennan in net. Allegra Brennan, the senior. 96 saves on the year for the goaltender of Princeton. Here's Avery Gallagher. Sends it up top to Leah Bornstein. And Princeton will slow down their offense. Now Quinn Gallagher. 57 points for the sophomore midfielder this season. Henderson to Zahid. The lefty sends it to the top of the fan. There's Riley Devlin. Bounces it across to Zahid and back to Henderson now behind the net. Zahid sends it up top. Devlin double teamed, pestered by Javik, spins away from her, trying to put the moves on Sammy Davis, and she's bumped and fouled. And so now a penalty shot for Riley Devlin, the leading goal scorer on this team, 53 coming into this one. Cuts to the middle and shoots it well over the net. Notre Dame first back to that, and it will be their ball. Mickey O'Connell racing up with it, fanned on that pass, and it's a turnover right to Henderson. Here's Zahid. Tries to get that one across to LaBeouf. Sylvia LaBeouf's got it now, 9 goals, 13 assists for the senior attacker. Zahid straight away on 12. Over onto the left side now for Phoebe Steiger. First time we've called her name. That one couldn't be handled by Henderson down low. It's scooped up by O'Connell. Koziel trying to show off the speed. Can't get around a defender. Forced back. Parker couldn't handle that pass, and it's loose, and it's another turnover for Notre Dame. Back-to-back turnovers now for the Irish as they hold this 1-0 lead. Devlin, down low, Gallagher, and she scores. Gets that one past Ritson, and Quinn Gallagher has Princeton on the board. It's 1-1. Make that 38 goals for the sophomore midfielder. And that is a new career high. She had scored 37 last season. Again, she came into this one quiet, just 4 goals in her last 3 games, and we'll see if that sparks her offensive game. Getting the first goal of this one for Princeton. Again, this Princeton team, they average over 14 goals per game. They've scored the most in the CVC. They allow 9.1, though, so they play a lot of high-scoring games. They're 10-1 when scoring in double figures, 0-4 when held under 10. Behind the net for Notre Dame, it's Aubrey Davis. Davis surveys her options, sends it to Parker at the edge of the fan. Parker, who's got the goal for Notre Dame, down low Marone, middle of the 8-meter, shoots that one high. And she's frustrated with herself that she couldn't find the back of the net there. She was wide open in the middle of the 8-meter. Parker defended by Bornstein. Deals it to Eilbacher. She'll look to juke her way around her defender, and sticking with her that time is Jocelyn Lee. Eilbacher tries to spin on Lee, and good defense forces her back out top. Marone top of the fan. Now Emily Javik, the rider commit, pulls it back out. Notre Dame will play this one slowly. Javik twirls the stick and gives it up to Reese Parker. Parker to Javik. She'll start up for the Irish. Trying to spin her way on Devlin. More good defense by Devlin. Eilbacher gets around her. Gets around Avery Gallagher. Sends it around to Capri Valentino. Valentino, you can see that brace on her left knee. She's been out the last 4 games. Marone to Javik up top. Javik deals it off to Parker. Still a 1-1 game, under 4:30 to play here in the first. A trip to the semifinals on the line. Parker bounces it and scores. Reese Parker staying hot. She's got the first 2 goals of the game for the Irish, and they retake the lead. So far, Freddie, Notre Dame playing their type of game, just on the offensive end, slowing it down, waiting for their shot, and Reese Parker has now taken advantage twice.
Yeah, excellent job done by Reese. I mean, she's just keeping the foot on the gas, like I mentioned before. And way to start the game out with our goalie, Ritson, here. I mean, just setting the tempo.
Yeah, made a big save to open this one. After making, of course, 2 game-saving stops Wednesday in the final 2 minutes of that win over Princeton Day. This draw controlled by Javik. She'll start up quickly. Down low, Davis, and another goal for the Irish. Quick strike offense this time. Although they're going to wave it off. Yeah, crease violation. Notre Dame thought they had their second goal in 7 seconds. Aubrey Davis, though, just got a little too deep, and it remains a 1-goal game, and out goes to Princeton, a chance to tie this one up at 2. Devlin up top to Steiger. And across to Bornstein behind the net, they go Sarah Henderson. Anaya Zahid gives it up. Bornstein, top of the fan. Across on the left side for Devlin. She'll send it in the middle. Gallagher had to go off her stick and right into the net of Margaret Ritson. Kind of fans on that pass. Davis has to come to it, and she's able to control. Now the ball's loose. Princeton fighting for this, and they've got control for a minute. And now it will eventually be picked up by the Tigers. Already the 3rd turnover of the first quarter for Notre Dame. They've played some solid defense, but haven't been able to finish off the possessions, because once they've gotten control in their defensive zone, haven't been able to get it across the midfield line consistently. Quinn Gallagher, the sophomore, in front to Bornstein. Picture-perfect passing ties us at 2. That one was in and out of the net of Bornstein in a flash to lock this game up. Make that 10 goals in 3 games for the sophomore midfielder. And with 3:01 to play here in the opening quarter, we've got a brand new ball game. So Princeton will try a different strategy now with Bornstein in the circle along with Eilbacher for the draw. Bornstein, 79 draw control wins this season. This one's up in the air. Parker fighting for it with Gallagher, and Bornstein's going to pick this one up for number 80. A chance to give Princeton the lead. They've trailed or been tied the entire way through this first quarter. Bornstein at the controls. To Zahid, now Henderson's side of the net. Sarah Henderson fakes a pass, sends it up top, Quinn Gallagher. Bornstein to Steiger. Phoebe Steiger, 20 goals this year, a career high. Bornstein down low, Henderson, and she is fouled. And so now Sarah Henderson will get a chance with the penalty shot to give her team the lead. She's got 9 goals, 29 assists. More of a passer than a scorer is the senior attacker, Sarah Henderson, but a chance to get goal number 10 on the season right here and put her team in front. Henderson bounces it and does just that. tricky hop there for Ritson to handle. That one checked up well in front of her and finds the top left corner, and it's a 3-2 Tigers lead. So now Bornstein fresh off her 80th draw control of the season. And this one is scooped up by Riley Devlin. You can give her 46 on the year. Henderson side of the net looking for a teammate. Gives that one up to Devlin. Gallagher gets done tying her shoe and now has it for Princeton. Zahid. Across now, here's Henderson with it, top of the fan. Henderson's got it up top, not the position she's been in really so far this first quarter. Used to working at the side of the net. Steiger to Quinn Gallagher. Takes it around behind the cage. Gallagher being pestered by O'Connell now. That pass tough to handle for Devlin, but she's got it. Down to a minute to play here in the opening quarter. This one's sent in front and taken away by Notre Dame. Whistles, it'll stay with the Irish. Bowden just gets that one off to Parker, and now she'll cross the midfield stripe. Nearly another turnover, but now numbers for Notre Dame in transition. Parker, who's got both of the Irish's goals so far. 36 seconds, ducks inside, card comes up. And Parker is fouled, and now she'll take this one from the 8 meters. So a chance to tie this one up. 15 seconds left. Parker will just circle back out and has it stripped, but stripped illegally. Clock still running now, under 10 seconds. Parker to Eilbacher off of her net. And down to 4 seconds now. It's picked up by Bornstein, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. 3-2, Princeton leads, 12 minutes down, 36 to go. Second quarter of action coming your way next on the WBCB Sports Network.
In a world where every voice matters, there's a brand that stands out. Fish, not just a clothing company, but a movement for change. We're dedicated to raising awareness about mental health issues, especially among children, student athletes, and veterans. Our brand was born from the belief that clothing can be a powerful tool for expression and support. Join us at Fish Clothing Company and be part of a community that's making a difference.
We all face challenges, and sometimes life can get a bit overwhelming. But guess what? You're not alone. There's a beacon of hope shining through, and it's called the Hey app. If you've ever felt the weight of isolation, stress, or emotional struggles, this one's for you. We're about to unveil a platform that's more than just an app. It's a lifeline for those in need. What sets Hey apart? Well, it connects people in need with compassionate and supportive listeners. You can share your thoughts, your fears, your hopes, and do it all anonymously. Because sometimes all we need is someone to listen without judgment. And here's a beautiful opportunity for you. We're asking you to join this community.
Welcome back to Notre Dame High School, where the Princeton Tigers currently lead the Fighting Irish 3-2 here in the Mercer County Tournament quarterfinals. For Princeton, Leah Bornstein, Quinn Gallagher, and Sarah Henderson, all with the goal in that first quarter. Reese Parker has the 2 tallies for the Irish. And we were talking during the break, Freddie, that you had mentioned you wanted to see maybe a little bit more consistency out of this Irish team. They struggled with the turnovers. They were able to play some good defense, but unable to finish off those possessions consistently. 3 turnovers in that first quarter. How do they clean that up here as we enter the second?
Great choice of words there, cleaning it up, right? They got to clean that up. There was way too many turnovers. They're better than that. They have what it takes to be here and win this game. Really got to win the draw. Got to start with this draw, keep it on the offensive side, find their players. I don't know if they've been in their head a little bit during the first quarter, but here we go.
Bornstein with Eilbacher, and she swats that one away and picks it up. Aggressive draw control win there for Eilbacher, and she'll wheel up. A chance to tie this one back up at 3 here in the early going of the second quarter. Eilbacher, lots of speed behind the net. Spins her way back on Lee. Puts the moves on. Gets around in front. Eilbacher scores. Well, that's what we were used to seeing on Wednesday. Amelia Eilbacher on the board, and we are locked at 3, just 20 seconds into the second quarter. She looked determined on that one.
Absolutely. Great. Another great choice of words, determined. She went in determined to put that in the net. I mean, there was that footwork that we saw in the last game, rolling her crease, bringing her talents and doing exactly what she needed to do.
Give her 30 goals on the season for the senior who will be headed to Virginia Commonwealth next year. And that's the type of play this Notre Dame team needs out of their star in Amelia Eilbacher. If she's able to continue that level right there that we just saw, Notre Dame should be in good hands. They put Quinn Gallagher back in the circle with her, and Parker takes this one. She'll move up with speed. Parker into the fan, spins on Lee, and gets fouled. Parker on the 8-meter. She's already scored once with the penalty shot today. Going for a first-half hat trick and a chance to give Notre Dame the lead right back. Parker gets it past Brennan. Looked like she nearly had that one. Had it go off of her body and into the net, and it's a 4-3 game just like that. 2 goals in 31 seconds for the Irish. Have them back in front. And so now if you're Princeton, this draw becomes huge. Notre Dame has snatched all the momentum without the Tigers being able to gain possession at all. Gallagher with Eilbacher. A lot of height in that circle, and Eilbacher wins it clean to herself. 3 second quarter draws, 3 wins for the Irish. Eilbacher whistled.
Shooting space on that one, Jordan.
And so she'll get a chance to give Notre Dame already their 3rd goal of this quarter, just over a minute in. Three draw control wins. Eilbacher makes it 3 goals. It's a 5-3 game, and just like that, Notre Dame flexing their muscles. Notre Dame, another one of the high-powered offenses that the CVC has to offer. They average 13.4 goals per game, 161 coming into this one. Now they've got 166. And we're seeing that offense kind of come to fruition here in the opening minutes of this second quarter. Princeton switches it up on the draw again. This time it's Riley Devlin. Devlin with Eilbacher. This one loose. She's no match. Eilbacher's got it again. 4 draw control wins and 4 goals. Driscoll gets that 4th. It's a 6-3 Irish lead. They've scored 4 goals in 91 seconds and are on top 6-3.
That was definitely an impressive run there. I mean, talk about winning the draw, taking it. The transition was beautiful. I think we had 3 touches on that and right to the cage.
And head coach Kate Federico for Princeton needs a timeout. 6-3 Notre Dame will take it along with her and be back with more action next on the WBCB Sports Network.
In a world where every choice we make can impact someone's life, one brand is leading the way towards a brighter future. Introducing Fish. We are on a mission to raise awareness of the mental health issues many face every day, especially children, student athletes, and veterans. Join us at FISH and be a part of something bigger than yourself. Together, we can make waves of difference in the world.
$14.90 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
FISH represents the core values you dedicate to yourself every day. We want to inspire you to be the best and most fulfilled version of yourself. FISH is an acronym standing for faith in oneself and those around you. Integrity, always evolve with integrity. Strength, through adversity comes strength. And honor, there is honor in the fight. And Notre Dame showing some fight here at the beginning of the second quarter. Already 4 goals, just 91 seconds in. Eilbacher has 2 of them, Reese Parker has another, and Michaela Driscoll has gotten on the board herself as well. This was a 3-2 Princeton lead to start the quarter. And that seems like ages ago, even though it was just about 4 or 5 minutes ago. And finally, Princeton able to win this draw. It's their first win in the circle this quarter. Notre Dame had won the first 4. Eilbacher nearly went off sides there. Bornstein up top to Steiger. Tigers looking for a response. They've surrendered the first 4 of the second stanza. Henderson's side of the net. O'Connell, good defense on her. Up top from Zahid. Gallagher's got it, and across to Steiger. Floats that one over onto the left side for Devlin. And now it's LaBeouf behind the net. There's Henderson. O'Connell on her once more. Henderson looking for a blue jersey. We'll send it up top to Zahid. Javik pressures, and she's forced to give it up there to Phoebe Steiger. Zahid gets it back. Now Devlin. Princeton slowing the pace down a little bit on this offensive possession. A lot of action on the far side of the field. Here comes Devlin to the edge of the 8-meter. Makes the move around Javik. And Javik got her stick in to the midsection that time of Devlin, and that will be a penalty. Penalty shot for Riley Devlin, a chance to snap this 4-0 Notre Dame run. Devlin, who's yet to score, and she's still yet to score. Ritson, another big stop. O'Connell races back and gets possession for the Irish. Margaret Ritson has continued her strong play in net here in the early portions of this game. Already 2 huge stops as Beadle races across the midfield stripe for Notre Dame. Looking to extend this run that they're on. Capri Valentino behind the cage. And here's Eilbacher. She's got 2 goals in the quarter. Sends it down low. Valentino wheels in front, and that shot goes just wide. Driscoll races back, picks it up for Notre Dame. They continue to possess. Emily Javik, lots of speed, tried to feed it to Driscoll. It's over her head. And the Tigers come out of that with it. Sylvia LaBeouf. Possession for Princeton. Up top to Bornstein. She'll slow it down. Now Quinn Gallagher. Princeton, when they were in this position last season, blown out 17-3 against Allentown last year in the quarterfinals of the Mercer County tournament. The last 3 MCTs, in fact, they have fallen to Allentown. And the winner of this game gets the winner of Princeton-Allentown. Bornstein stopped by Ritson again. Margaret Ritson feeling it. 3 major saves. And it preserves this 3-goal advantage for Notre Dame, and now they're looking to add to it. Ellie Marone straight up the gut in transition. to Reese Parker. She'll slow it down. Get the play call from Brian Fisher over on the sideline. Parker will walk it all the way out towards the edge. And now start back up as he jogs slowly towards the middle. 6:30 to play till halftime. Notre Dame has been in control since the scoreboard flipped from quarter number 1 to quarter number 2. Parker, edge of the fan. Not a lot of movement on this possession for Notre Dame. The Irish just seem content to let the clock run a little bit. Have some of their players maybe catch their breath after a long defensive stop a few moments ago. Eilbacher, head fake. Javik wide open, scores. Emily Javik on the board, her 16th goal of the season. It's 7-3, and it's a 5-0 run for the Irish. Looked kind of like a defensive breakdown there for Princeton. Emily Javik wide open, nobody in her airspace. And she deposits it into the back of the net.
A couple more great stops from our goalie there, Margaret Ritson. And, I mean, the clears that she's given to Cam Beadle, and then the speed Cam just carries. I mean, just to transition that ball and be so tough on the defense. What a great job the two of them been doing together.
Yeah, and the speed on Notre Dame has kind of been showcased here in the first half of this game. We've seen Beadle use it, Reese Parker, Amelia Eilbacher on the first goal of this quarter. And Amelia Eilbacher is hot in the circle. Another draw control win. This time it goes to Parker. Parker head fake. She's knocked to the ground. Whistle and a penalty, and shooting space now for Parker. A chance to extend this lead. Parker, who's got the hat trick. Looking for goal number 4. This time gives it up, and it's over the head of Marone. Valentino scoops it up off the turf. And head coach Brian Fisher wants a timeout. Both teams will head back to their huddles. 7-3, Notre Dame on top. 5:11 to play till halftime. We'll take a quick break and be right back on the WBCB Sports Network.
In a world where every voice matters, there's a brand that stands out. Fish, not just a clothing company, but a movement for change. We're dedicated to raising awareness about mental health issues, especially among children, student athletes, and veterans. Our brand was born from the belief that clothing can be a powerful tool for expression and support. Join us at Fish Clothing Company and be part of a community that's making a difference.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Welcome back to Notre Dame High School alongside Freddie Valentino. I'm Jordan Hirsch, and Freddie, how about this second quarter so far? 5 goals for the Irish and none for Notre Dame. They've obviously provided a spark on the offensive end, but the goaltending play of Margaret Ritson in net has been really just as huge. How about the game that she's had so far?
Margaret, talk about an impressive game. She started exactly where she left off against that PDS game. I mean, with the saves that she's having, And the clears, finishing with the clear and getting it to Cam Beadle, who's got the speed to bring it up the field and get it to the offensive side. We wouldn't have the goals on the board that we do if it wasn't for those two.
Margaret Ritson making an early push to be our Italian People's Bakery player of the game. Eilbacher's got it behind the net, under 5 minutes to play out of the timeout. Notre Dame on a 5-0 run. Parker, who's been at the center of that, she's got a hat trick here in this game. Parker starts it up. She's got Devlin on her, lost it. Ball on the ground. Parker trying to push it to Eilbacher. And this one will stay with Notre Dame. Parker to Eilbacher. After being held scoreless in the opening 12 minutes, she's scored 2 here in the second. Behind the net now, where she's been so dangerous these last couple of games. Eilbacher to her right, to her left, and back to her right. Turns back, looking for the moves, gets around in front, and she scores again. And it looks like they're going to wave this one off. I think she might have been in the crease as well. That's the second time now that Notre Dame has had a goal disallowed for a crease violation. Eilbacher, unfortunately for her, unable to finish that one off. But again, just so impressive back there behind the cage. And now she forces a turnover. First turnover of the game for Princeton. Eilbacher in front to Driscoll. That one stopped by Brennan. Princeton lives to tell about that one. Here comes Bornstein, double teamed on the near sideline. Gets around Valentino and Eilbacher and gets it across the timeline to Quinn Gallagher. Gallagher sends it off to LaBeouf, and back up top they go Bornstein. Down to 3 minutes to play till halftime. Princeton just looking to get on the board here as their high-powered offense has been shut down. They had only scored 4 goals when these two teams met back on April 29th in a 12-4 loss. They've scored 214 in total this season. But Notre Dame has had their number through really the first 6 quarters that they've faced off this year. LaBeouf to Zahid. A lot of perimeter work for Princeton. Haven't really been able to consistently get it inside. And when they have, Ritson's been there as the last line of defense. Devlin puts the moves on, gets around Javik to the edge of the 8-meter and wheels back out. Javik forces it out. And she got her stick up too high right there. As now Devlin will have it on the 12. Whistle blows. Devlin deals it to Henderson. She'll start up. Javik, more good defense. She's played it well on the perimeter so far. Zahid into the middle. Bornstein, and finally she's able to beat Margaret Ritson. Leah Bornstein, her second goal. It stops the 5-0 run and makes it 7-4. And so now if you're Princeton, finishing off this half well would be huge, as 7-4 and 1:46 left, and now the draw has become that much bigger. As Princeton looking to flip the momentum back onto their side here in the final 106 seconds of the first half. This one's one back. Parker had it and lost it. Scooped up by Bornstein. She's got 2. Now Gallagher takes it to the side of the cage. O'Connell is there. Gallagher looking to put the moves on her. Good defense. Davis comes with the help. Gallagher continues to possess. And here's Riley Devlin and a whistle away from the play. It's against the Irish. Devlin will have it on the fan. She'll have to give it up. She'll take it behind the net now. Devlin in front. Devlin had that one blocked by Koziel. And it's another foul. Koziel really was able to stop a goal there, but now Ritson will have to do the rest. Devlin, a chance to cut it to 7-5. Javik steps in front and blocks the shot. And now a foul against Princeton. The Notre Dame defense stands tall once again. Beadle spins on Steiger, pushes it up ahead to Parker, and now numbers for the Irish in transition. Parker down the middle. Trying to put the moves on Shu, gets around her. Parker bounces it and scores again. Are they going to call crease violation there? So it will remain a 3-goal game. That's a third disallowed goal for Notre Dame rather. And now 10 seconds to work with for the Tigers. Devlin, whistle. Clock stops with 7 seconds to play in the second quarter. Quinn Gallagher will have it on the fan. Just 7 seconds to work with, a chance to cut the deficit to 2 before the break. Gallagher starts in with 5 and turns it over. Sammy Davis has it. She'll jog her way up, and time will run out on the first half. The second quarter has told the story so far. 7-4, Notre Dame on top. They win this quarter 5-1 and have a 3-goal advantage heading into the break. 24 down, 24 to go. Do not go anywhere. Our halftime report is coming up next on the WBCB Sports Network.
We all face challenges, and sometimes life can get a bit overwhelming. But guess what? You're not alone. There's a beacon of hope shining through, and it's called the Hey app. If you've ever felt the weight of isolation, stress, or emotional struggles, this one's for you. We're about to unveil a platform that's more than just an app. It's a lifeline for those in need. What sets Hey apart? Well, it connects people in need with compassionate and supportive listeners. You can share your thoughts, your fears, your hopes, and do it all anonymously. Because sometimes all we need is someone to listen without judgment. And here's a beautiful opportunity for you. We're asking you to join this community of compassion. Download the Hey app and become a listener. Your kindness can be a guiding light for someone in their darkest moments. Imagine being the reason someone smiles today, the reason someone feels heard and understood. It's powerful, and it starts with you. Join us on this journey, because every conversation can be a lifeline. Let's make the world a little brighter, one connection at a time.
In a world where every voice matters, there's a brand that stands out. Fish, not just a clothing company, but a movement for change. We're dedicated to raising awareness about mental health issues, especially among children, student athletes, and veterans. Our brand was born from the belief that clothing can be a powerful tool for expression and support. Join us at Fish Clothing Company and be part of a community that's making a difference.
In a world where every choice we make can impact someone's life, one brand is leading the way towards a brighter future. Introducing Fish. We are on a mission to raise awareness of the mental health issues many face every day, especially children, student athletes, and veterans. Join us at Fish and be a part of something bigger than yourself. Together, we can make waves of difference in the world.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
We all face challenges, and sometimes life can get a bit overwhelming. But guess what? You're not alone. There's a beacon of hope shining through, and it's called the Hey app. If you've ever felt the weight of isolation, stress, or emotional struggles, this one's for you. We're about to unveil a platform that's more than just an app. It's a lifeline for those in need. What sets Hey apart? Well, it connects people in need with compassionate and supportive listeners. You can share your thoughts, your fears, your hopes, and do it all anonymously. Because sometimes all we need is someone to listen without judgment. And here's a beautiful opportunity for you. We're asking you to join this community of compassion. Download the Hey app and become a listener. Your kindness can be a guiding light for someone in their darkest moments. Imagine being the reason someone smiles today, the reason someone feels heard and understood. It's powerful, and it starts with you. Join us on this journey, because every conversation can be a lifeline. Let's make the world a little brighter, one connection at a time.
Welcome back here to Notre Dame, where at halftime it is a 7-4 Irish lead over the Princeton Tigers. Princeton held a 3-2 advantage after 12 minutes, but a 5-1 run in the second has Notre Dame out to this 3-goal lead as we are about ready to start the second half of action here in the Mercer County Tournament quarterfinals. The winner of this game will play either Allentown or Robbinsville, which is the 2-7 game going on right now. Notre Dame, they've only lost 3 games this year, but 2 of those games are to Allentown and to Robbinsville. So if the Irish are able to hold on to this lead and get the win in advance, they would have a chance at revenge against whoever they were to match up with in the semifinals. That would be Thursday at 5 o'clock. And Freddie, we had talked about it in the pregame, wanting to see the 2 stars really for this Irish team, Amelia Eilbacher and Reese Parker, step up huge, as well as the defense and the goaltending. Well, so far, the Irish have checked both of those boxes. Eilbacher and Parker have 5 of the 7 goals for Notre Dame, and they've played on the opposite end. Really good defense, a couple of block shots, and some really nice saves by Margaret Ritson. And you got to believe that's what they're going to be looking to just continue here in the second half.
Yeah, no doubt. If it's working, you don't need to change that. It's definitely working.
Irish have executed the game plan to perfection, and they win another draw here. That's something that they've also had the advantage in the first. Javik has this one. She sends it ahead. It's Reese Parker now. Parker, who's now up to 22 goals in her last 4 games. Really 22 goals in her last 3.5 games. Still 24 minutes to play in this one. She's already got 3. Irish, we've seen them take their time on offense. We've also seen them score goals in rapid succession. Marone with a pirouette. She'll deal it off to Eilbacher. Lee tried to intercept that one, but it gets to Parker just in time. Jocelyn Lee pestering Parker, trying to get around her. And some illegal contact. Parker will get it on the fan. Parker to Javik in the 8-meter, shoots. That one went off the goalpost, it seemed. Behind the net to recover, Aubrey Davis. Javik again wide open in the 8-meter. She had already scored once like that today. Davis to Eilbacher. She's got it behind the net. This has become must-see TV the last 2 games. Eilbacher trying to get around in front. Takes it back.
Ref saying she put her feet on the crease.
Bit of a late call. I think they're calling that when she'd come to the far side of the cage. Well, now I'm not really sure because Eilbacher keeps possession. Bornstein will go behind her, so it must have been something against Princeton. Eilbacher behind the net. This time she gives it up. Marone hits the crossbar, and it comes right into the net of Bornstein. Just some bad luck there for Ellie Marone. A post and a crossbar on that possession, and here comes Princeton. That one couldn't be handled, though. It's scooped right back up by Reese Parker. Cuts across midfield. Parker into the offensive zone, into the fan, and then gets pushed to the ground by Avery Gallagher and pops right back up. That's the second time she's hit the turf in this game, and it seems like Reese Parker has been on the ground a lot these last 2 games as teams have had to play her very aggressively just with how hot she's been offensively.
I'm starting to think that that defense doesn't even realize how fast she's actually coming in, and that's starting to lead to those fouls.
Yeah, Parker's used her speed to her advantage throughout the entire game, and now she's got another chance to extend the lead with a penalty shot. Parker's got 3. Cuts in on net, and that time Allegra Brennan stops it with the net. Brennan long stretch pass, connects with Henderson. And now Gallagher. Princeton will work it across the timeline. Quinn Gallagher, 37 goals on the season coming into this one. She's got just 1 here on the afternoon. Devlin's got it up top. She's been held scoreless, and she's the team leader in goals with 53. Devlin harassed and fouled out near the Irish logo at midfield. Riley Devlin with it. Gives it up to her teammate Zahid, and now Henderson, side of the cage. She'll pull it all the way back out towards the sideline now. Henderson trying to pirouette on Javik, sticks with her. And she's forced to find Zahid. Up top to Quinn Gallagher, and Princeton playing this possession very far from their net. Sammy Davis with the defense. Gallagher forced wide. All the way towards the Notre Dame bench. Davis still pestering. Now Cam Beadle takes over. Gallagher certainly has the size advantage, but Beadle forces the pass. Steiger, oh, heck of a move there on Marone, but deals it off to Riley Devlin. She cuts into the fan. Devlin to the top of the 8-meter, lost it, and was fouled. Still no scoring here in the second half as the clock ticks down to 7:26 to play in the third. Devlin looking to break that trend and get her team back to within 2. Riley Devlin stops, double-teamed, lost it. And it's a turnover. Man, Notre Dame, they've played just some real suffocating defense, especially on some of these penalty shots as well.
I'm pretty sure the referee saw a charge on that one. Looked like the player turned around, put their back to 2 players, and tried to cut between them.
And so now after Notre Dame was the one with a bunch of turnovers in the first quarter, Princeton has kind of taken that. Marone walks the tightrope around the sideline. Valentino called for it, and now she's got it. Valentino into the fan. That one was dropped by Marone. She scoops it up. Right? Excuse me, that's Aubrey Davis scooping that one up off the turf. Up top, Amelia Eilbacher. She'll slow it down. Off onto the right side for Michaela Driscoll. Now Reese Parker, edge of the fan. Parker bounces that one, and another big save by Brennan, her second of the quarter. Valentino picks it up into the 8-meter. Down low, there's Davis, and she scores. Top shelf for Aubrey Davis, and it's an 8-4 game. For Aubrey Davis, her 10th goal of the season for the sophomore attacker. Give her 17 points now on the year. And the Irish doubling up the Tigers 8-4 with 6:21 to play in the third. This is going to be the first draw since the opening draw of the third quarter. It'll be Devlin with Eilbacher in the circle. And it's Devlin who takes control. Sylvia LaBeouf with Beadle in the vicinity. Gives it up to Riley Devlin. And now across here's Bornstein. The lefty sends that one high, and it's taken away by Mickey O'Connell. Another turnover for the Tigers. And they nearly get it right back, but an interference call there going against Sylvia LaBeouf, and Notre Dame will keep possession. Davis couldn't handle the pass from Valentino. And now Steiger scoops it up. So Notre Dame gives it right back, and Princeton needed that one, but now they've got to be able to turn it into a goal. They've scored just once since the first quarter. This offense that has scored 19 or more goals in 5 games and 20 or more in 3 has been held in check so far to this point. Gallagher side of the cage. O'Connell there on defense. Gallagher trying to take it around in front, gets the edge, and scores as she's knocked to the ground. For Quinn Gallagher, it's her second, and it makes it an 8-5 game. And another goal that time coming off of a turnover from Notre Dame. They've cleaned it up since the beginning of this one after the first quarter. But when you're protecting a lead, you got to be able to hold on to the ball, and if you're not, that's the type of stuff that can happen. You're able to get possession, but O'Connell had gave it right back, and Princeton and their high-powered offense that we haven't really seen to this point, but we know it's in there, takes full advantage. Javik trying to scoop this one up off the turf, still having trouble with it, hits the ground hard. And it's going to be Notre Dame ball. Javik just trying to clean herself off now after she had hit the turf. Went down pretty hard there, and good to see her pop right back up. Javik this time, she walks the tightrope and hits the ground again. And an interference call against Quinn Gallagher. And a yellow card. First yellow card we've had of this game. It will be Notre Dame now getting the 11-on-10 as the sophomore midfielder for Princeton, Quinn Gallagher, will head off after she scored that last goal to make it 8-5. So now we'll see if Notre Dame can take advantage. 11 on 10. They're holding a 3-point lead. We'll see how aggressively they play this. Eilbacher behind the net. Get the cameras out. Sticks up in the air for Princeton on defense, trying to stop a pass in front. Eilbacher, that one goes off the stick of Brennan. Lee trying to scoop it up, and she's got it. Lee harassed in the backfield by Parker, who stripped it clean, and Parker's got it back. Parker 1-on-3, has it, and shoots it up over the crossbar. And it will go back to Princeton. Parker nearly with another interception. Zoe Reynolds, first time we've called her name here today. Reynolds crosses the midfield stripe. That one was low and at the feet of Zahid. And Javik scoops it up. Another turnover for Princeton. That's plagued them here in the third. Up ahead, Parker with the catch over the head of Lee. Parker in on goal, and a save made by Brennan. She's got it. And just like that, the goaltending play stealing the show, but another turnover, and now Maroon's got it back for the Irish. Both teams having trouble holding on to the ball in this game. Eilbacher behind the net. Eilbacher with Lee guarding in front of the cage. Eilbacher trying to get in front, forced back behind. Clock continues to dwindle down to 2:13. Gallagher back in. So the Irish can't score with the 11 on 10. Eilbacher double. Javik left open. She bounces it and scores. Emily Javik's got 2. And when you've got a player that's so dangerous from behind the net, Princeton comes with the double. It leaves Emily Javik wide open, and she finds the back of the cage. So now again it will be Eilbacher with Devlin in the circle. 2:02 to play in the third. A game that we thought was going to be high scoring, featuring 2 of the top offenses in the CVC, has been anything but so far. This one will go to the Tigers. Steiger up ahead. And she's got it back. Marone on her back. Here's Quinn Gallagher. Gallagher defended by Marone, forced to give it up. Here's Riley Devlin. Now Phoebe Steiger back up top, Devlin. And across Celia Bornstein, top of the fan. Bornstein's got Marone on her this time. Double comes with Cam Beadle. She gets around her. Bornstein gets free, sends it down low. And back up top, Bornstein's got it now. Knocked to the ground by Javik. And a foul. Not a whole lot of contact there, but the officials do blow the whistle on Javik. And now penalty shot action for Princeton, and Leah Bornstein with a chance to cut the deficit back down to 3. Under 50 seconds to play, third quarter. Bornstein, who's already got 2, looking for a hat trick here. Bornstein cuts in on net and scores. This time she goes top shelf, and it's a 9-6 game. And after she was held scoreless the last time these two teams faced off, now 12 goals in 3 games for Leah Bornstein. 45 on the year, 62 points as well. And she's got her team back to within 3, 39 seconds to play in the third. And another big draw. Eilbacher looking to control, and Notre Dame would really be able to run the clock out on this quarter. If Princeton wins it with Riley Devlin, a chance to cut the deficit to 2. Eilbacher wins it back. It rolls on the ground, and she picks it up herself. Eilbacher gets a step on Bornstein, now a step on Gallagher. Let's see if she takes it behind the net. Yes, she does. Tries to get out in front quickly, but forced back this time by Zoe Reynolds. Eilbacher trying to get in front, feet near the crease line. She goes back behind the net again. Eilbacher to the side. And a whistle, and it will stay with Notre Dame. Clock ticking down to just 5 seconds left. Eilbacher with 2 seconds and 1. I don't think she realizes it, and now time runs out. Notre Dame on top, 9-6, 36 minutes now down, just 12 to go. Irish looking to preserve this 3-goal lead and advance to the semis. Will they be able to do it? Find out next on the WBCB Sports Network.
In a world where every voice matters, there's a brand that stands out. Fish, not just a clothing company, but a movement for change. We're dedicated to raising awareness about mental health issues, especially among children, student athletes, and veterans. Our brand was born from the belief that clothing can be a powerful tool for expression and support. Join us at Fish Clothing Company and be part of a community that's making a difference.
$14.90 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Fish represents the core values you dedicate to yourself every day. We want to inspire you to be the best and most fulfilled version of yourself. FISH is an acronym standing for faith, faith in oneself and those around you, integrity, always evolve with integrity, strength, through adversity comes strength, and honor. There is honor in the fight. Notre Dame holding a 9-6 lead, 12 minutes to play, and it's really been the work not only of the offense, which we're used to seeing out of this Irish team, but the defense as well. And they've got 12 more minutes to stand tall, not only in net with Margaret Ritson, but really the play of players such as Cam Beadle, Mickey O'Connell. They've been huge so far in this game. Eilbacher with Devlin in the circle. A trip to the Mercer County Tournament semifinals on the line. This one's loose. And Quinn Gallagher scoops it up for Princeton. Gallagher to Reynolds. She puts the moves on and races up with it. Reynolds has that one go off the stick of Eilbacher, another turnover. That's something we've seen out of both teams so far, but more out of Princeton here in the second half. It is a very similar position that Notre Dame was in against Princeton Day on Wednesday, holding a lead in the fourth quarter. They played that game very deliberately, tried to waste as much time as they could on the offensive end. This time Davis sends it behind the net to Capri Valentino, who scoops it up off the turf and finds Reese Parker. Parker jogs to the point, gives it up to Michaela Driscoll now. Driscoll's got Shu on her, trying to get around her, double team. Driscoll forced back out top, gives it up Emily Javik. She's got a pair of goals so far. Javik knocked to the ground, and a foul. So now Emily Javik, a chance for a hat trick. And a chance to restore the 4-goal lead. And she does. Let's go of it from well up top. Maybe surprised Allegra Brennan that time, and it's 10-6. Surprised me, too. I wasn't even ready for her to let go of that one, but she whistles it past the goaltender and restores the 4-goal lead.
As you baseball fans call our southpaw, I mean, she just does that wind up, and she's so focused on the back of the net there. She just ripped it.
A southpaw who throws heat. Emily Javik. A hat trick for her here in the Mercer County Tournament quarterfinals. Eilbacher wins that one back, trying to scoop it up. Can't. And Bornstein's going to go back and pick it up off the turf. Princeton's been able to hang around so far, but they need a run. Down 10-6 with 10:22 to play. LaBeouf up top to Phoebe Steiger. LaBeouf gets it back from her. They play catch. LaBeouf flips it up top. Here's Quinn Gallagher. She's got 2 so far. Gallagher traverses to the far side. Sienna Valentino this time playing defense. Gallagher behind the net with O'Connell right there. Devlin, she has still been held scoreless. She came into this game 53 goals on the year. Devlin takes it behind the cage. Under 10 to play now in the 4th. And she's forced to give it up again. LaBeouf to Zahid up top. Henderson couldn't scoop it up cleanly this time. Valentino in pursuit, but Henderson goes back to get it. She'll find Quinn Gallagher. Gallagher trying to cut around in front into the 8-meter, ducks around one. Javik knocked it loose, but it's taken by Devlin. Devlin takes it behind the net. O'Connell and Koziel there. Gets around Koziel. Devlin shoots and scores. Big goal for Princeton. They cut it back down to 3, and it's a 10-7 game. And so now for Quinn Gallagher, that's a hat trick for her. 4th player in this game with a hat trick. Javik and Parker on the Notre Dame side. And now Quinn Gallagher and her teammate Leah Bornstein on the Princeton side. Devlin with Eilbacher in the circle. This one straight up in the air. And Eilbacher's got it. Not sure how she was able to catch that kind of with her stick facing outward. Sends it to Valentino. Capri Valentino jogs behind the net. Irish on top, 10-7. Again, the winner of this game gets the winner of the 2-7 matchup, which is Allentown against Robbinsville. Semifinals on Thursday over at Lawrence High, just down the road from here. Valentino is fouled. And so now Capri Valentino in her first game back after missing her last 4, a chance for her first goal. Valentino against Brennan. Capri Valentino cuts in. The ball ends up in the net. We've got whistles before, though.
Fouled again.
Yeah, and we'll do it over. So don't count that goal, but Valentino a chance to get on the board here. Valentino in on goal. And a save made by Allegra Brennan. That time perhaps Valentino getting a little too close, and of course goaltender with the larger net was able to swallow that one up, but Javik takes it right back here for Notre Dame. It's been very sloppy play in the defensive zone for Princeton so far here in the second half. Javik racing up, tries to get that one to Parker. It's over her head. Eilbacher goes back to scoop it up. Clock dwindling with Princeton down by 3. We'll see if they start to play a little bit more aggressively on the defensive side of the ball. That's something Princeton Day had done on Wednesday. Notre Dame was able to handle it then. Right now, the Tigers seeming to continue to back off. And the Irish see that and will just say, okay, we'll continue to wind the clock down. Now under 7 minutes to go. Parker, she's got 3. Parker gets around Devlin and scores. Reese Parker almost lulling the Princeton defense to sleep, starts it back up and makes it 11-7. Her 4th consecutive game now with at least 4 goals. Reese Parker stays hot. And the Irish keeping the Tigers at arm's length right now. This one again high up into the air. Eilbacher bats it out of the net of Devlin and picks it up. Another win on the draw for Amelia Eilbacher. And so now Notre Dame up by 4. Parker looks like she wants to keep going and extend that lead. Parker gets around multiple defenders and bounces it into the net. Reese Parker makes it a 12-7 game. She's now got 2 goals in under 30 seconds. Reese Parker trying to put this one out of reach for Princeton. Eilbacher knocked that one up in the air right behind her, but Leah Bornstein there for another win. Avery Gallagher had it knocked out by Parker, but illegally. Princeton's got to go quick. They're facing their largest deficit of the game here, down 12-7. Here's Quinn Gallagher. Trying to get into the fan. Javik forces her back out and chases her all the way out. And a little too much contact that time. Gallagher to Bornstein. The lefty sends it to Henderson's side of the net. Henderson into the middle. Zahid had it knocked out of her stick. Henderson races back to get it, though, for Princeton. They control. 5:27 to go. And an interference call against Sienna Valentino. And a yellow card. She'll head off. And now Princeton 11 on 10. And now Quinn Gallagher is going to head off. And in for Princeton comes Alessandra DeBlanco for the first time. DeBlanco, junior attacker, 2 goals on the year. Getting some run late in this game, down by 5 with the woman up. Devlin has that go out of her stick, and it's scooped up by the Irish. Cam Beadle checks her blind side and crosses the midfield stripe. And Brian Fisher gets the timeout call. Wasn't sure really what Beadle was doing as she had crossed into the offensive zone, but it's because her head coach uses his second timeout of the game, and with 5:10 to play in the 4th, we will take it with him. 12-7, Notre Dame on top, looking to close this one out when we come back on the WBCB Sports Network.
In a world where every choice we make can impact someone's life, one brand is leading the way towards a brighter future. Introducing Fish. We are on a mission to raise awareness of the mental health issues many face every day, especially children, student athletes, and veterans. Join us at Fish and be a part of something bigger than yourself. Together, we can make waves of difference in the world.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Lawrenceville, where it's a 12-7 Notre Dame lead, looking to close this one out and advance to the semifinals. So far, Freddie, they've played really a great all-around game. The defense has been stellar. The offense has stepped up when they've needed to, and Margaret Ritson in net has really been just as good as she was at the end of the game on Wednesday. She's really been able to carry that one over here into this game here in the quarterfinals.
She has. She's done a tremendous job doing that. I mean, right at this point, if Princeton wants to hang on here, they're going to have to gain possession. They're going to have to gain possession and go to goal if they want to try to reduce the gap.
Yeah, and gaining possession for Princeton hasn't necessarily been the problem. It's been keeping it here in this second half. Lots of turnovers. The turnover bug had kind of bit Notre Dame in the early portions of this game, but it's found its way over to the Princeton side. Irish with the ball. Reese Parker, 5 goals, another outstanding game for her. She's up to 52 on the year. Davis turned back, splits the double and crosses the midfield stripe. Sammy Davis nearly splits another double team. Sends it ahead to Cam Beadle, and now she'll get some run in the offensive zone. Beadle to Eilbacher. She'll use a screen and take it behind the cage. Amelia Eilbacher trying to put the moves on her defender. Eilbacher still with it, with DeBlanco right on her. Notre Dame wasting time, down to 4:17 to play. Amelia Eilbacher still controlling it. Pirouettes, looking for somewhere to go with it now. She's had it behind the net for about 30 seconds. Amelia Eilbacher, 2 goals today, up to 31 on the year. And now she'll bring it around in front, forced wide. And now Parker, they'll trade places. Parker double-teamed, Avery Gallagher out on her. And a nice move there by Parker to get around Jocelyn Lee, and now she'll just jog back over towards this side. Notre Dame just killing time. Reese Parker fouled. Up top, here's Ellie Marone. A 3-sport athlete. Marone also on the field hockey and basketball team, junior midfielder. Deals it off this time to Michaela Driscoll, trying to get an edge on Devlin. Devlin sticking right with her, though. Driscoll underhand to Eilbacher. Under 3 to play here in the fourth. Eilbacher in front. Eilbacher shoots. And Brennan made the save as it trickled along the line, but she was able to scoop it up just in time. It remains a 5-goal game. This one is high up over the head of Shu. Javik races back to get it, and another turnover for Princeton, as that's kind of doomed them here after halftime. Notre Dame can waste more time. Eilbacher's got it, down to 2:23 to play. Capri Valentino slowing down the pace. Avery Gallagher comes out on her behind the net. Notre Dame now just trying to salt this one away and move on to the semifinals. Parker starts up. Parker to Davis, and she bounces it in. And that might be the exclamation point. It's a 13-7 game as the Irish have pulled away here in the later stages of this fourth quarter. Second goal of the game for Aubrey Davis. And with 2:02 to play, the Irish can taste the semifinals now. Eilbacher with Devlin in the circle. Whistle blows. Ball up in the air. Now back to the ground. And it's going to go to Princeton. DeBlanco sends it ahead. And a nice underhand catch that time by Riley Devlin. Notre Dame still playing very aggressively on defense here with this 6-goal lead. Steiger's got it outside the fan. She'll give it up to Devlin. She'll walk her way towards the fan and give it up to Bornstein. They go to the side of the net. There's Henderson. Under 90 seconds left in this quarterfinal matchup. Henderson doubled, passed low, and it's scooped up by DeBlanco. Now back to Henderson. 1:17 to go. Henderson's side of the cage, gets it to Zahid. She's forced back out. Henderson's got it right back. Back to Zahid at edge of the fan. Now DeBlanco straight away. Emily Javik way out on her. This one over the head of Devlin. Marone in pursuit, but Devlin scoops it up. Under a minute now to go in the quarterfinals. Zahid's got it to Henderson's side of the cage. Trying to get this one in front, but a good job by O'Connell to deny that. Behind the net, Sylvia LeBuff's got it. 40 seconds left. LeBuff to DeBlanco. Cam comes out on defense. LeBuff's got it back, and now Devlin. Devlin trying to cut in front. Spins by Koziel. Good defense. Splits the double. Devlin still with possession, down to 24 seconds left. Again double teamed. She spins away from that as well. Gives it up to Bornstein, edge of the 8-meter. Bornstein with Javik right there, gets it to Devlin. She shoots, and she scores. And that gets Riley Devlin on the board here. 53 goals coming in. That's her first of the game. It's 13-8, but just 12 seconds left. Eilbacher in the circle, along with Riley Devlin, who just scored. (13-8) is your score. Whistle blows. This one won back into the net of Parker. She's racing up with it. Just 7 seconds left. Parker now will just turn back, and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are moving on to the Mercer County Tournament semifinals. They take down the 6-seeded Princeton Tigers 13-8, and they will have a chance at revenge against either Allentown or Robbinsville on Thursday over at Lawrence. Notre Dame led basically the entire way throughout, led from the end, or really the beginning of the second quarter on, and they coast to this quarterfinal victory 13-8. Is your final, our Italian People's Bakery player of the game. How about Emily Javik? 3 goals for her on this big stage. She came up huge for the Irish. We will have that interview coming for you next. Our post-game show is on the way right after this on the WBCB Sports Network.
We all face challenges, and sometimes life can get a bit overwhelming. But guess what? You're not alone. There's a beacon of hope shining through, and it's called the Hey app. If you've ever felt the weight of isolation, stress, or emotional struggles, this one's for you. We're about to unveil a platform that's more than just an app. It's a lifeline for those in need. What sets Hey apart? Well, it connects people in need with compassionate and supportive listeners. You can share your thoughts, your fears, your hopes, and do it all anonymously. Because sometimes all we need is someone to listen without judgment. And here's a beautiful opportunity for you. We're asking you to join this community of compassion. Download the Hey app and become a listener. Your kindness can be a guiding light for someone in their darkest moments. Imagine being the reason someone smiles today, the reason someone feels heard and understood. It's powerful, and it starts with you. Join us on this journey, because every conversation can be a lifeline. Let's make the world a little brighter, one connection at a time.
In a world where every voice matters, there's a brand that stands out. Fish, not just a clothing company, but a movement for change. We're dedicated to raising awareness about mental health issues, especially among children, student athletes, and veterans. Our brand was born from the belief that clothing can be a powerful tool for expression and support. Join us at Fish Clothing Company and be part of a community that's making a difference.
In a world where every choice we make can impact someone's life, one brand is leading the way towards a brighter future. Introducing Fish. We are on a mission to raise awareness of the mental health issues many face every day, especially children, student athletes, and veterans. Join us at Fish and be a part of something bigger than yourself. Together, we can make waves of difference in the world.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
We all face challenges, and sometimes life can get a bit overwhelming. But guess what? You're not alone. There's a beacon of hope shining through, and it's called the Hey app. If you've ever felt the weight of isolation, stress, or emotional struggles, this one's for you. We're about to unveil a platform that's more than just an app. It's a lifeline for those in need. What sets Hey apart? Well, it connects people in need with compassionate and supportive listeners. You can share your thoughts, your fears, your hopes, and do it all anonymously. Because sometimes all we need is someone to listen without judgment. And here's a beautiful opportunity for you. We're asking you to join this community of compassion. Download the Hey app and become a listener. Your kindness can be a guiding light for someone in their darkest moments. Imagine being the reason someone smiles today, the reason someone feels heard and understood. It's powerful, and it starts with you. Join us on this journey, because every conversation can be a lifeline. Let's make the world a little brighter, one connection at a time.
In a world where every voice matters, there's a brand that stands out. Fish, not just a clothing company, but a movement for change. We're dedicated to raising awareness about mental health issues, especially among children, student athletes, and veterans. Our brand was born from the belief that clothing can be a powerful tool for expression and support. Join us at Fish Clothing Company and be part of a community that's making a difference.
In a world where every choice we make can impact someone's life, one brand is leading the way towards a brighter future. Introducing Fish. We are on a mission to raise awareness of the mental health issues many face every day, especially children, student athletes, and veterans. Join us at Fish and be a part of something bigger than yourself. Together, we can make waves of difference in the world.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
We all face challenges, and sometimes life can get a bit overwhelming. But guess what? You're not alone. There's a beacon of hope shining through, and it's called the Hey app. If you've ever felt the weight of isolation, stress, or emotional struggles, this one's for you. We're about to unveil a platform that's more than just an app. It's a lifeline for those in need. What sets Hey apart? Well, it connects people in need with compassionate and supportive listeners. You can share your thoughts, your fears, your hopes, and do it all anonymously. Because sometimes all we need is someone to listen without judgment. And here's a beautiful opportunity for you. We're asking you to join this community of compassion. Download the Hey app and become a listener. Your kindness can be a guiding light for someone in their darkest moments. Imagine being the reason someone smiles today, the reason someone feels heard and understood. It's powerful, and it starts with you. Join us on this journey, because every conversation can be a lifeline. Let's make the world a little brighter, one connection at a time.
$14.90 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Welcome back to Notre Dame High School. I'm here with our Italian People's Bakery player of the game, Emily Javik. Emily, great game. You get a free sandwich at the Italian People's Bakery.
Thank you.
You had 3 goals here. Second game this year with 3 goals for you. What's it like having one of your better games of the season on a big stage here in the Mercer County tournament?
It's definitely just personally and as a team stepping up when you need to. I mean, we all wanted to make it to the semifinals like last year. We all want to compete against Allentown again, and this was just one hump we had to get over.
And for your team, you guys have now won 6 of your last 7 games, playing really your best lacrosse of the season at the right time. How far do you think this team can go?
I think we could go MCT finals, play against Lawrenceville. We can go pretty far in states. We have a young team, but you see what we can do when we get put on the spot. Like, we excel under pressure, and I think it showed today too.
And as for your next game in the semis, it'll either be Allentown or Robbinsville. You guys, of course, unfortunately came up short against both of those teams earlier in the season. Do you have a preference as to who you would like to face off with on Thursday in the semifinals?
Anyone. We'll take anyone in the Mercer County tournament. We don't care who. We just want it to be a good game, and it will be.
All right, well, Emily, very confident. Thank you so much for your time, and go and celebrate with your teammates. That was our Italian People's Bakery player of the game, Emily Javik. 3 goals for her. Notre Dame gets the win 13-8 over the Princeton Tigers. This game on the WBCB Sports Network was brought to you by Notre Dame High School and by Fish Clothing Company. We thank them for their continued support the entire season here as we've covered girls high school lacrosse at Notre Dame. And so one more time for our entire crew, Freddie Valentino on color commentary, Makai Gundy behind the camera, Brianne O'Neill, our video engineer. I'm Jordan Hirsch saying thank you so much for watching and have a good night, everyone.